What's good, YouTube? It's Team Rocket. I've got a deck profile here for you guys. This is my updated Evilswarm. I played this at locals, last 4 locals over about 3 weeks. I believe I got second place twice and won twice. So the deck's really good, pretty consistent. Played against a few spell books and dragon decks. I am 4-0 against Elemental Dragons, and I have not lost a game 2 or 3 against spellbooks. The deck just owns the tier 1 decks. I do pretty well, obviously, against the stun rogue decks. Also, obviously, doing so well in 4 tournaments. But I'll go through the deck and some of the choices with you guys. This is obviously post Tachyon Galaxy, so the deck's changed a little bit to make room for the Tachyon. So I'll go over some of those choices when I get to them. But let's just get to the profile. You guys know how Evilswarm work. You have 2 rabbits to go with the 3 heliotropes. With the Tachyons, you can rabbit twice on pretty much every game reliably if the game lasts that long. You just add this back to your hand with Tachyon, shuffle it back in with a trap. Works out nicely for that. Then you have 3 caster. There's been a few times where I've had caster and rabbit in my hand opening turn, and so I'll have caster and say I have a heliotrope. I prefer to go caster heliotrope first if I'm going first, because they can't Valor this, but they can Valor the rabbit, so it's the safer play to go this way. Even though you don't get the plus, you still you guarantee you get your Ophion that way. 3 Tachyon. I was thinking about playing this at 2 because it's awful if you draw it in your opening hand, but he's just too good. You got to play the 3 of them. I played 2 Mandragoras and 2 Thunderbirds. Reasoning behind this is Thunderbird's really not that good. He doesn't really have that much synergy with the rest of the deck unless you're playing one of those grind games. It's just once you have one on the field, it's not going anywhere, so you can't really summon the other one because you can only use them once per turn. So I mean, Thunderbird's just all right. Mandragora is good too, just because if you max C and you draw into these, it gives you more options. Other ways to make Ophion. Also gets you into Shockmaster and Ouroboros with those. Some people play 3 and 3. You just don't need that many Evilswarm. It's kind of a waste. You only need 2 to make Ophion, and you want to be able to protect it with the rest of your cards. So that was a lot of words just to say you only need 2 Thunderbird and 2 Mandragora. So that's it for that. I also played the 1-0 Lantern. This is really great in the mirror match. Just pop off their card. Really good if there's like a bunch of back row against Fire Fists. They have the attack modifiers. You're not going to be able to attack over their bear. Just blow it up with this. The other play that I like is if you go, caster, use caster to summon the Tachyon, then use his effect, add this back to your hand and summon it, and then you can pop this off and still make your Ophion play. That's pretty good. Then the hand traps, I played 2 Valor and 2 Max C. Against the Dragon player, I never saw the Max C, so that might need to get bumped up to 3 or maybe side deck a 3rd one or something. But the Valors are great. Protect you from bear and other things like that. Priestess. Also help to stop spellbooks turn 1 when they go Magician to get their plague going, and you can just Valor it. Helps there. That's it for the monsters. I cut Dark Arm. He's kind of a win more card, I feel like, and I just thought I'd be better off playing some more traps and stuff, so cut Dark Armed. Then for the spells, I still play 3 Pandemic. It's just too good to make an Ophion, and if they try to bottomless the Ophion or bottomless the heliotropes or something, you can Pandemic the first ones and then search for another Pandemic. That's really great. And then I play 2 Dress. This might go up to 3 because this card almost single-handedly beat dragons. They try to blaster Dress, and then they can't Electric Virus, they can't attack over it with Pebbles because Ophion's still too big. Dress is too good. Saving from a Snowman Eater too. This card's just amazing. Ophion looks great in Dress. So there's those. Then there's Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Reborn. Pretty obvious there. Reborn on Tachyon is a joke. That's so good. But I was actually thinking about taking Reborn out because there's not a whole lot. I mean, most of your guys are just kind of standard beaters if you Reborn them. Some of them aren't even beaters. 1550 is not much of an attack. But if you get a Tachyon back with this, that's really good. Reinforcement casters great first turn. Like I said, he's less fragile than Rabbit. You won't get Veilered, and in the Max C won't hurt you as bad if you go Caster instead of Rabbit. So to get the extra Caster, and then I play one Book of Moon. I really like Book of Moon. Just as a utility card, you can use it for anything. There's also cute stuff you can use with Ouroboros. If you do make an Ouroboros, you can take a card from their hand. Then on your next turn, you can book the Ouroboros, flip it back up, take another card from their hand. So Book of Moon's kind of funny. Onto the traps. 2 Mirror Force, 2 Torrential. Torrential obviously work well with the Rabbit and the Pandemics. So Torrentials are good. Compulse, get those pesky XYZs off the field. This is really bad against like Fire Fists and decks like that, so it could side it out in those matches for like MSTs and stuff that are more useful. But Compulse is too good against problem Exceed monsters. Then the 2 Solemns, Judgment and Warning. Judgment almost always comes out once I know what I'm playing, because there's very few things that you want to Judgment. I really only use this on like a Spellbook of Judgment, because that's a huge play you got to stop. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of things you need to get with those, unless you're negating their Judgment or their Warning. But whatever, it's in there. Then I play the 1 Infection. It's all you need. People usually won't MST this card because they're not understanding what kind of advantage you're getting off of it. It's too good. Like, you go end phase their turn, put a Heliotrope back, search for whatever you want, and then on your standby phase or main phase 1, you can do it again. That's too good. I like that card. Sometimes I'll search this first with Ophion before I even get a Pandemic. And then the last card, I was playing a Safe Zone, but until Key Beetle comes out, I just feel like Safe Zone's not very good right now. I got the 2 Dress and the 3 Pandemics anyway that are I think they're a little better than the Safe Zone. So I just threw in the 1 Mind Crush. This is pretty good. I mean, any good deck now is going to show you what they have in their hand. Gravekeeper, search for Necro Valley, Spellbook, search constantly, Dragon, search constantly. Being able to Mind Crush, get an idea of what's in your opponent's hand, it's too good. I actually once Mind Crushed my opponent's Mind Crush. They got off a Duality because I didn't want them taking my Pandemic from me when I search for it next turn. It's just kind of a good way. Since I'm not main decking the Eradicators, this helps against Spellbooks game 1. On to the extra deck. I play the 3 Ophion. I use all 3 of them often. It's just too good. It's the heart and soul of the deck. 1 Bahamut. You rarely have the resources to make a second one, and usually the first one will get you in there for a game. You don't need 2. People play 2. You're wasting space if you're playing 2 of these. I play the 1 Thanatos. This is really good against Fire Fists. Also, I mean, I guess it's alright against Consulars, but their guy's bigger than 2350 anyway, so it doesn't help as much there, but definitely good against Fire Fists. And there's a lot of those running around at locals. Diamond Direwolf. This card, I knew it was good, and then today I realized I had this and Dress. What was I playing against? Something silly. A Crystal Beast. And his field spell started gaining all the counters or whatever, so I couldn't do anything to him. But when I made this, and then I could target this and his field spell, and then I dressed the Direwolf, so I got to destroy the field spell and kept the Direwolf for another turn, and the next turn I was able to blow up something else. Basically turns Dress into like a, destroy 1 card on the field, which is great. Emerald, those late games when you just need more resources, or you can, revive a Heliotrope for some damage. Just a good card. Pearl, I don't think I've made this, but I feel like it's needed. Gets around Phoenix Chain, runs over Ophion. Just seems good. Some decks will go Skill Drain on you too, so you can drop that on them. Black Ship just eats Zen mains. That's all it's in there for. Cowboy, Cowboy for game. You guys know how that works. I put Dweller in there because Dark World actually give me problems. But, they go 2 Graphas like before I even get to have my turn, and this doesn't help anymore. So, I don't know, this might come back out. Without the Dark Armed, I don't really need the Laval Chain to manipulate the graveyard. So I guess this is alright, but I don't know. I need something better. There's not a whole lot of water at locals. My Stroke, this is too good. It's way better than Utopia. And this is a side note, but stop playing Utopia, guys. It's terrible. Don't do it. This is so much better. Make my stroke first. And just leave Utopia out of your extra deck altogether. Ouroboros. This is my factory damaged Ouroboros. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got the track through the middle of it. It's kind of cool. It's just a power card. Helps against like Frog Monarchs or something dumb. You know, you can get the frog out of their graveyard and pick cards out of their hand, stuff like that. Especially, you can push for a bunch of damage. You can put your 3 Evilswarm out there, especially with the Mandragora and Kyrkion. It's easy to do. And then you can make this take a card out of their hand. It's pretty good. And then you have Shockmaster. When you don't want to take that last card out of their hand, you just always go Shockmaster and call spells or monster effects, whatever. Shockmaster. And then my last card, I play the 1 Scarred Warrior. This is kind of random, but I'm sure some of you guys don't know what this does. Basically, once per turn, it can't be destroyed by battle, and your opponent cannot target other warrior monsters you control for attacks. You don't really have to worry about that much. Really what this is then there for is Consecrated Light. There's a lot of that running around, and you basically, you can go set an Evilswarm, and then you protect it for a turn with your traps, Mirror Force or whatever. Then next turn you can normal summon your Veiler, make this, and run over the Consecrated Light. Caster doesn't help you do that, so this is pretty good. I like the Scarred Warrior just for those odd situations. My side deck works out really well. I do need to make some changes to it, but I'll show you guys what I have here. I have the 1 Morphing Jar number 2. For those of you who don't know what this does, basically just destroys dragons and Evilswarm. You flip this, all monsters go back to the deck, but then they only get to special summon cards that are level 4 or lower, equal to the number of monsters that went back to the main deck. So if your opponent has an Exceed monster, they just lose it. And if you're playing against like dragons, the monsters that they reveal have to be level 4 or lower. So if they reveal a bunch of level 4s, they all just go to the graveyard. And you are fueling their graveyard, but it's funny because it burns their babies, makes the babies all come out in defense position, then you just pick them off one at a time. Morphing Jar's pretty good. I have the 3 MSTs in the side deck. It's kind of a staple. You have to have this against, rivalries and skill drains and problem cards that people side in. 2 D-Fissures. In theory, this card's great, right? But I never draw it, ever. Never ever draw it, and that's frustrating. I got pushed today in the finals by Dark World because I just, don't see these cards. The other cards I didn't see against the Dark World player are Eradicators. This card single-handedly beats spellbooks. I had a comical spellbook matchup the other day. I opened my opening hand was Caster, another Evilswarm, a Rescue Rabbit, 2 of these, and like a Mirror Force or something else. Or maybe it was it was an MST was the other card. So I had a way to get rid of his back row, Eradicated him. I could Eradicate him again in 3 turns if he had survived. Like it was dumb. This card's way good. Yeah, just Eradicator's awesome. I'm still playing the deck Devastation Viruses. There's some decks going around like Karkuris and whatnot that you can hit with these. It's also good against water. But I don't know. I didn't use them today. I might take them out. They just seem too good against those pesky decks that are still around, windups, whatnot. Imperial Iron Walls. You go Ophion, set this and dress. They lose. I mean, there's no outs to that. So Imperial Iron Wall is great. Here's my secret tech, I guess. I've seen a couple other people use this. So I guess it's not just mine, but Tachyon Dirge is amazing. It beats those silly rogue decks like Battling Boxers, and even other Evilswarm players. Because if you look at their extra decks, they don't have any rank 3s in there. So you wait till they put their nuts on the board, and then you just Tachyon Dirge, and they can't do anything. They just overextended, and you'll take some damage maybe or whatever, but then you just go back and pick off all the little guys because they broke up their plays with that. And then the last card, Light Imprisoning Mirror. I only put this in there because Evilswarm have a horrendous matchup against Constellars, so it's in there for those. There's also a Light Swarm player at locals. So this is kind of that local tech that you could take out, make this whatever. This will probably become another Max C, actually. Or a Dimensional Fissure. I need to draw the Dimensional Fissures, so this will probably come out for one of those. But yeah, that's pretty much it.